Hello everyone, Amanda here from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk, and today we're going to be making a mess. I've treated myself to some of the Brushos, which are awesome fun, and we're going to have a play and create a very simple card. Now, what Brushos are is basically tiny pots of joy. It is crystallised, kind of like crystal colour. It's like really concentrated ink in powder form, which you can sprinkle on like salt and pepper. As you can see, I haven't taken the lids off. I've just put tiny little holes to turn them into shakers, and then I'll just put a sticker over the top so they don't absorb any moisture. And they're awesome fun. Today I'm going to be using ultramarine and turquoise. Okay, so I bought these locally. Stampin' Up do sell a small range of Brushos. I think it's a set of 5. I've actually got a set of 12 that I've purchased locally because I actually live quite close to where these are made. These are actually made in Sheffield in the UK. So I got these local to where I live. As I say, you can buy them on Stampin' Up on the website and go and have some fun. So I've got some watercolour paper here. I'm just going to tack the bottom of it down just so it doesn't shift. I've got some on there already. You can tape it all the way down. The only reason I'm not going to do that is because I want it to go right to the edges, and also I don't have a low tack tape. I need to get a low tack masking tape, and the one that I've got rips the paper. So what I'm going to do, first of all, there's different ways you can use Brushos. You can sprinkle them on dry and then spray water, or you can wet your paper first. I'm going to do a bit of both, I think. I'm just going to add, look, you can see where some's already dripped on there. I'm just going to add a light coat of water, not too much, because they do kind of do whatever they want. And then I'm going to, I think I will just tack that top bit down actually. I just tack it down just to try and keep it a little bit straight, but I'm not too worried. And then I'm going to use ultramarine and turquoise, so you literally just tap it kind of where, and you only need a little bit. Okay, now that's quite dry. My watercolour paper is a really good quality watercolour paper, and it soaked up all of that water immediately. So what I'm going to do, just try and tape it back down to my desk. I'm going to add my paper. It's starting to spread, you can see, but I'm going to spray it as well. So I'm going to add turquoise now in between. Okay, and I'm just making myself a little background, just a tiny bit right now. So now I've got a bottle of just plain water. I'm just going to spray it from quite high up. Okay, give that a good spray. Get it nice and wet, and sit back and watch those colours pop. And that water just activates that powder ink, and it just explodes. And if you sit there and watch it, put a bit more there. There we go. And the more you spray it and the more water you add, the more intense the colours go. Okay, so I'm going to take my tape off of there because I do want it to go right to the edges. And what you do is you just keep going, and if you want it a little bit lighter, you can dab some colour off with kitchen roll. You can do what you like. I'm going to add just a little bit more there in that corner. So you just keep going until you are happy with what you've got. Okay, I love it. Isn't it awesome? I'm just going to leave it to spread, and then I'm going to, when I've got it, when it's just about at the stage that I want it at, I'm going to get the heat gun on it. So let me get my heat gun and just plug it into my adapter bar over here. Excuse me a minute, I'm not prepared, am I? Watch that colour merging together whilst we just plug the heat gun in. Sorry, I should have been ready. And now I'm going to start and dry it. Okay, so I'll just clear that up. There we go. Now, it can look like you've just made a big old mess, but when you start and add it to a creation, that is when the fun begins, because you've made yourself a custom-made awesome background. Now I've got quite an intense colour down here, and then I've got a lighter spattered kind of look here, and I'm loving it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to wipe my hands first. I'm going to bring my trimmer in. And I already have a card base here, which is a standard, you know, 4 1/8 by the length of A4, folded in half. And I'm going to decide which way I want it. I don't know whether to have, let's have a look. I think I'm going to go for the darker one, but what I can do here is I can make myself two, because I'm going to cut it in half. So this is like I would cut a mat for the to make a card. So this is 4 inches by 5 3/4, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide kind of where I want to cut it. And what I'm going to do at the same time, for this card design, I've got a plain Whisper White one as well, and I'm going to cut them both at the same time. So I'm going to lay one behind the other. That needs cutting down to 5 3/4 by, what did I say that was? 4. So that it's exactly the same size. I'm going to make 2 cards. I'm going to make enough to make 2 cards at once. So I'm going to put them together like that. Okay, put them together. And then I'm just going to pick somewhere where I want to cut it. So I'm going to cut it, holding them together. I'm going to cut it like that, I think. Maybe a little bit sharper, like that. Don't know, can't decide which way around I want it now. I have it that way, like that. Okay. So what that's done for me is I have, that's going to be 1 card, and that's going to be 1 card. Okay. So let me just wipe my hands again, because I don't want to get this card mucky until I've done with it. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to layer this on my card base now. I'm going to use, what am I going to use? I'm going to use red line tape. No, I'm not. I'm going to use glue. I'm going to use glue. So I just think it'll hold that a little bit better, hopefully. Okay. Okay. I'll line that up on my card, and I've cut it with a very, very tiny increment, so I need to make sure it's straight. Try not to get the background wet again with your glue and then smudge colour all over. We don't want that. I'll just bring my rag in to just press it down. So I want that to dry. It could take some time to adhere because your watercolour paper is quite strong. It's quite thick, and it's not as easy to glue down as your standard cardstock, as it were. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it on a plain white layer, and I'm just going to lift it ever so slightly up so that we've got that tiny increment at the bottom. Okay, like so. Alright, so let's get that glued on. Love messing about. This is awesome. And I've seen similar, this is, you know, nothing new. I've seen similar designs to this on Pinterest and all over. I've been having a right good look how to use the Brushos, so I'm not claiming this as, you know, like I've come up with it or anything like that. Okay. So I'm just carefully layering that on because I've got a very tiny increment there. And what I also don't want to do is I don't want to get it dirty. Okay, I put a piece of scrap over it and press, and then if I've got any ink residue on my hands, I'm not going to wreck my card. Right, so that should be nice and stuck down now, hopefully. So we've got that nice two-tone look. And then what I've done is I've taken this large word die from the Broadway bound, and it says Wish. And I have cut 2 out, and I've pre-done them to save time. And using the self-adhesive sheet, I've cut 2 on the self-adhesive sheet and layered them up so they're just that little bit thicker. Okay, so now I can just peel the back off because I don't want to be adding a load of wetness to that because it can reactivate that water-based ink. I'm just trying to peel this off of here. There we go. Okay. So let me just add that one up there like so. Just use this to help me. Okay, so I'm just going to stick it on there like that. And then peel the rest of it. I mean, you could emboss that bit, you could add washi tape, you could add another stamp, you could put happy birthday there. I may well do that actually. I may well go back and add happy birthday at the bottom there. If I just line that up on there like so, move it up. It does cut the W out separately. And there we go. What looked like a great big mess has turned into a really cool card. Give it a try. Awesome fun. Take me months to get my hands clean, but how cool's that? Go and have some fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.